try to get all this negative out of my head. Well, what are you putting in its place? As soon as we start pulling the negative out, we have to have something to put in its place. You pull the negative out, put something in its place. Can't tell you how many people I have, like, they're trying to push the water and then it swooshes back in. Push the water, swooshes back in. For me, this is when I was horrified as a 22, 23-year-old with doing my own brain scans. I was taking a class that had cross sections of the brain. It was like anatomy of the brain class. I thought that was kind of cool. And I wonder if anyone's ever done cross sections of cognitive processing. You know, normal weird person questions. How would you do that? I got myself a little flip pad of paper, you know, with a little spiral across the top, put it in my back pocket. I got a little egg timer from Walmart that you could adjust the time on it. And what you do is when the timer goes off, you do a screenshot of your thought process and you try to write it down. What was I thinking about when the alarm went off? I'm glad I had a little flip notebook in my pocket because I really didn't want people to know what I was thinking about when the alarm went off. 23-year-old guy, college student in the springtime at the University of Utah, where all the girls who did not want to go to BYU because of the dress code were at the University of Utah. And they wanted to prove to the world that they were liberals. Now, it took me less than one day to start trying to cheat. So by cheating, what I mean is I started writing down, this was one of those other accidental discoveries that I had. Like, now if I could choose what I wanted to think about and I would prefer to think about, what would it be? So that's when I started understanding the concept of gathering seeds. Like, you can actually pick what you think about. And I would like to think about amazing philosophical things that change the world. As a 23-year-old, you know, Socrates, Aristotle. That's what I want to think about. So I took some notes on what I wanted to think about, set the timer for 7 minutes. When the alarm would go off, I'd screenshot them all. Oh, how is that possible? In less than 7 minutes, I'm already having perverted thoughts again. So 19 out of 20 times, my thinking is not where I want it to be.
If you're finding this video helpful or want to help us reach others in need, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because it really supports our channel. Thank you.
Best thing I could think of, and I think that was just when they were starting to, by then I probably had 6 sets of general conference talks on cassettes. So I set a lofty goal. I didn't have a wife at the time. I didn't have a ton of other responsibilities. My goal was, can I take all movies and books and other not so helpful media out of my head and shoot for 12 hours of conference talks listening per day for a year? It hurt. I don't know if I actually got to 12 hours because of my work and my school stuff, but I got a Walkman and I got a earbud, and my work would let me listen to stuff if I wasn't interacting with somebody. And then I had to drive from work to the school, and I worked 25 minutes from home, and work was 15 minutes away from school, and school was 20 minutes away from home, so I could listen to while I was driving around. And I didn't have a lot of friends at the time. Well, never have had a lot of friends, and we didn't have cell phones, so you're not talking to people all the time. You got plenty of time to think. So I'm listening to conference talks, and agonizing was one of the words for it. Like, it hurt. I remember probably about 3 months into it when it felt like I was driving on listening to it, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. This is so agonizing. The image that came to mind was a railroad car hitting some kind of a bump that knocked the car off its track and landed sideways, and it was being dragged across the metal, and the screeching sound is just what it sounded like, and I'm all, why can't these conference talks be more in alignment with the way I think? And I'm all, wait, why can't your thinking get more in alignment with the conference talks? And then your wheels will be on track. And so the repetition, one of the reasons I listen to conference talks over and over and over again is to keep my brain on track so that I don't tilt off. And if I do, it's only a little bit. So it's designed to keep my head on straight. Conference talks started to become the seeds. So now every time I took unwanted thought out of my head, I had it cramming in. The goal was to force all the unwanted thoughts out of my head, by cramming and cramming and cramming so there was no room for the unwanted thoughts. I didn't have anything amazing I was thinking about anyway, so it's this is probably a good time to fill my brain with useful things. So I'd had the 450 verses I memorized as a missionary, the crash and burn phase of the first year home from my mission, the fear of ruining a woman's life by marrying me in my current condition second year, and then this cramming, because I didn't really want to wait till I was 30 to have a brain ready for a wife. I'd rather do it in a slightly better timing than that. And so now we've got all these seeds. So part of what I've been doing for the last couple of years is trying to provide so much stuff people could read or listen to that it can be crammed, can fill in every gap in your brain.